Hello, Mario.
Hello, how are you? Oh, you're at the sukkah.
Yeah, it's nice outside, so it's a
Yeah.
beautiful day.
Yeah. What did we arrange? Oh, no, you were not here. Oh, yeah, you were. Tomorrow in my house?
No, only for the turba. Oops.
No. The Daf tomorrow in my house?
Oh, I don't know. I would think so. But what time is mincha? Let's see here. That's a very good question.
Oh, here is only.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Tomorrow mincha. Mincha's 5:55
Okay,
tomorrow.
so let's learn in Mario's sukkah.
Okay.
5.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
We are on 121. Kuf Chaf Aleph.
Yes.
Rabbi Yossi Agli Omer Moadei Hashem Nemru, because it says Vaidaber Moshe Moadei Hashem of Bnei Yisrael. Moadei Hashem Nemru Shabbos Breishis Loi Nem means Moshe spoke Moadei Hashem to Bnei Yisrael, but not Shabbos. We don't know what that means. And Nazay Omer Moadei Hashem Nemru Aforos B'Dorim Lo Nem. Also, we don't know what he spoke about holidays, but not vows. What the Bryce doesn't mention anything about vows. What does this mean? So Rabbi Yossi bar Nasim Gomer L'Laim Asnisa, when Rabbi Yossi learned this Bryce, he didn't understand what it meant. Also, Basra Rav Sheshes Nardav Lachach. He went to Rav Sheshes. Rav Sheshes couldn't explain. Also, Basra Mechuza. They went to Mechuza. And he found Rav Sheshes there. Ashkechei Amarle, my Moadei Hashem Nemru Shabbos Breishis. What does that mean by that? Amarle Rav Sheshes says Moadei Hashem Tzrichin Kiddush Beis Din. What date the holidays fall on, you have to know when Rosh Chodesh is. Rosh Chodesh is established by Beis Din. Breishis is Ein Tzricha Kiddush Beis Din. Shabbos Breishis has been this every seventh day since creation. Maybe since in Emor, the parsha of the Moadim start with the description of Shabbos. Maybe Tiboy Kiddush Beis Din Kamoadas. Maybe the Havamina was that Shabbos would require Kiddush Beis Din. Kamash Shmuel didn't know. Then what does it mean? My Moadei Hashem Nemru Hafaros Nedarim Lo Nem. Moadei Hashem Tzrichin Mumchin. In order to declare the new moon, you need the Sanhedrin. You need experts. To annul vows, even a beis din of lay people, not experts, can annul vows. It says Rosh Amatos. Yeah, but a singular expert does not require a beis din. You can annul a vow as an expert. It's not awesome. There were no greater Yomim Tovim than the 15th day of Av and Yom Kippur. On Tu B'Av, the Jewish girls would go out in borrowed white clothes. Not to embarrass girls that didn't have clothes. Okay. I understand why Yom Kippur is a great Yom Tov. It's the day of forgiveness. Yom Shnasu B'Luchos Achronis, the day when the final Luchos were given. And we had Slicha. El Chamisha Asar B'Av Ma'i. What was the festivities? Why are we happy on Tu B'Av? So the Gemara gives us many answers. Amir Shmuel. Yom Shutu Shvatim Lavoz Abazeh. We've learned that before they went into Eretz Yisrael, the Shvatim were prohibited to marry outside of the Shevet because you might diminish the landholdings of that Shevet. But in a later generation, they said on Tu B'Av that you can marry whoever you want. My Dorush, what drasha did Zeh Adover, Dover Zeh Lo Yeno, Gela B'Dor Zeh. That since the pasuk that prohibited marrying other people started with Zeh Adover, they said this thing will not be noeg only in this generation. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yochanan. Another reason for Tu B'Av. Yom Shuter Shevet Binyamin Lovabakal. When we learned Shoftim, we learned about the civil war against Shevet Binyamin because of Pilegesh Begiva. And they made a vow, the Jewish people, not to marry with them. T'chsiv, V'ish Yisrael Nishba Me'mitzvah, Lemor Ish Mimenu Lo Yitin Bito LeBinyamin Lishan. We're not going to give our daughters to Binyamin. And then later on Tu B'Av, they permitted it. My Dorish, because it says Mimenu, from us, but Velomi Banenu. The prohibition was only in that generation, not to their children. Rav Dimi Bar Yosef Rav Nachman Yom Shekolubo Meisei Midbar. Tu B'Av, every year on Tisha B'Av they would dig a grave, and they would walk into their graves and sleep there. And in the morning, 15,000 people remained in their graves, and that was repeated all 40 years. 15,000 times 40 is 600,000. So finally, in the last year, they went into their graves on Tisha B'Av, and they got up. Everybody got up, so they were concerned. Well, maybe it's cloudy, maybe you don't see the moon. So finally, on Tu B'Av, when you see the full moon, they knew that it can't be Tisha B'Av anymore. It's clearly halfway through the month, and yet everybody's alive. So they knew that the dead are no longer dying.
Only during the 40, when you refer to 40, the 40 years in the desert.
40 years in the desert times 15,000, that's 600,000.
Yeah, but when did they go to the graves? They have special places in the desert for the graves?
Wherever they were, as they were traveling, they would dig a grave. All 600,000 people. And all 600,000 would sleep in their grave that night.
Oh.
The next morning, 15,000 would not wake up.
Wow. Okay. All right. Now I get it.
Wherever, so there are people buried everywhere in the Midbar.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and not only that, Midbar, while the people were dying out, Moshe had no prophecy from Hashem. Shneemar, Vayhi kasher tamukol Hashem lechem alamus bekerva am, Vaydaber Hashem elai lemor. Only then, when the people stopped dying, did Moshe start having prophecy. Elai hayadi. Ula Amar, different reason for Tu B'Av. Yom shebitel bo Hoshea ben Elah, hard to say Oshosh Yom ben Adracham. Another thing that we learned in Navi, that Yeravam ben Nevat had put guards to prevent people from making Aliyah Regel. Hoshea ben Elah got rid of them. Shoyalu Yisrael Regel. He got rid of that, so now you could go up. Rav Masna Amar Yom Shenitnu Aruge Beiter L'Gvura, that in 135 CE, Hadrian, they had wiped out the city of Beitar, and he did not allow them to have burial. So a year or two later, in 138, after Hadrian died, which was 3 years later, they rescinded the decree, and they are allowed to bury. And they made a bracha on benching, atov ametiv, atov shlo yisrichu. The corpses had not rotted. The ametiv shenitnu likvura. Rabbi of Yosef Damar Tava Yom Shepotzkim Bo Milchos Eitzim L'Marocha. Tu B'Av was the day that they stopped cutting wood for the Mizbeach, because after that the sun would weaken, so the wood wouldn't be so dry, wouldn't burn well. Right? Got weaker. It's like the sun is now getting distant from the earth. After that, some learn that now there's more time to learn Torah. They didn't have to cut wood anymore. Or because they completed the mitzvah for the whole year of cutting eitzim for the marocha. They called it the day of the sickle, which they used to cut. Whoever adds to the nightly Torah study will add years to his life. Who doesn't, Yasif, will die young. My Yasif, Rav Yosef, his mother will bury him because he will die prematurely. Torah Shiva Kiplus Kalolam Kulo. 7, you can go through the whole history of humankind, 6,000 years, and it's 7 people. For example, Adam, Metushelach Ra Adam. Methuselah, who lived to 969 years, he saw Adam Arisha. Shem Ra Metushelach. Shem had seen Metushelach. Yaakov Ra Shem. Amram Ra Yaakov. Achia Shiloni Ra Amram. Elio Ra Achia. Shiloni Vadain Kaim. Elio still exists because he didn't die. Amram Vaksiv Lo Nosar Mem Ish Kim Kalev Ben Yefuni Veshuvanin. I mean, Achia went out of Mitzrayim. How could he still be alive? You told me everybody died. Amravuna Lo Nixer Xel Shifter Shalevi. Achia Shiloni was Shevet Levi, and the tribe of Levi didn't die out. The Chsiv Bamidbar Azay Yiplu Pigrechem V'chol Pekudechem V'chol Misparchem Mi Ben Esrim Shalavam Mi Shepekud Pekudav Mi Ben Esrim. The rest of the tribes were counted from the age of 20. Yatzer Shifter Shalevi Shepekudan Mi Ben Shloishim. So, since the census of Levium started 30, they did not die out. So what? Are you implying that nobody else from other Shvatim didn't go into Eretz Yisrael? Vatanya, Ya'ir bem Nashe, Umachir bem Nashe, Noldu b'mei Yaakov. They were born in the time of Yaakov. Lo meisu ad shenichnasu Yisrael haaretz. They died after Klal Yisrael went. Shenemar, vayakum mehem anshe ha'ai, kishloishi v'shisham ish. In Yoshua, we learned they battled the city of Ai, and they lost 36 people. But they didn't really, they lost 1. Tanya, Shloshim Meshisha Mamish to Rabbi Yehuda, it's 36 casualties. It's like 36. Yair was so great in Torah, he was like the majority of Sanhedrin. The Sanhedrin is 70 people. The majority is 36. So he's like one of them. Yet he's alive. So how can you say, how did Yair ben Menashe come into Eretz Yisrael? El Amrav Acha Bar Yaakov lo nigzur gzeira lo al pachos mi ben esrim v'lo al yasser mi ben shishim. The gzeira didn't exist if you were under 20 at the time of the Meraglim or older than 60. Lo al pachos mi ben esrim nichsim mi ben esrim shnav v'malo v'lo al yasser mi ben shishim gomar v'malo marachim. We make a gzeira shava to erchin. Malo and yasser mi ben shishim kefachos mi ben esrim. By erchin, greater than 60 is like less than 20. Okay, we'll stop here because this starts a new sugya. So tomorrow we'll learn it. We'll learn every day at 5 o'clock. On Friday we can learn at the shul because you don't have to sit in the sukkah anymore.
No, I know, but Friday. Well,
So tomorrow we can learn by you because you still have to sit.
yeah. All right.
But
Good Yom Tov.
Good Yom Tov.
Yontev, everybody. Good Yontev.